Hello, welcome back to the Personal Transformation Experience. Today, we are talking about a topic that you selected, which is turning small changes into lifestyle habits.
Small habits into lifestyle changes.
Small habits into lifestyle changes.
Yes.
I love it. Why is that important to you today?
So I have been reading the book called Atomic Habits. I started reading it because I'm taking a personal training certification course, and they reference this almost every paragraph, it feels like, in the behavior section of the book, where it talks about how behaviors and people's behavior affects how they exercise or whether or not they move and how they feel about exercise and movement. And so one of the things that struck me about reading through this book, taking this course, and then they talked about the book so much that I decided to pick it up and start reading it. And one of the habits that really resonated with me was the gateway habit. And the gateway habit, they talk about taking broad life goals and transforming them into everyday habits that take more than 2 minutes a day. So a habit is only going to work, or you're going to adopt this habit, if it's easy, if it's almost invisible, if it's something that doesn't take more than 2 minutes a day. And how small changes, like if you want to walk 10,000 steps a day, instead of, just be aware of how long you're sitting, stand up, walk around your living room, sit back down. That small habit that took less than 2 minutes can turn into you actually walking out the door and walking around the block, or walking up the stairs and walking back down the stairs. Yeah. It can turn, the small habits can turn into these lifestyle changes over time.
And it makes sense because I think people get overwhelmed when they try and put hard goals like I'm going to lose 20 pounds by the end of next month.
Yeah.
Instead of actually focusing on the behavior changes that are going to be necessary to achieve their goal.
Right.
And maybe a better goal might be I'm going to live a healthier lifestyle.
Well, let's just back up a little bit, because what the root of these gateway habits are, it talks about, and it talks about this in the ACE course and in the Atomic Habits book and other books I've read about changing your habits, is identity. So your habits embody who you are, your identity. And by that, I mean, when you think of yourself as, let's say you exercise consistently 3 to 5 days a week, over time, you've done this for the last 10 years. So you would identify as someone who is fit, right? Or an exerciser, right? If someone says, I'm an exerciser. I am a person who exercises. If you smoke a pack a day and you've done it for 10 years, I am a smoker, right? If you have a completely disorganized house and you can't find anything, I am disorganized, right?
So I'm a slob.
I'm a slob. You can say, if you want to be not so nice to yourself. So how you think about yourself and the habits that you form are your identity. So one of the first things that they talk about in the book and in these other books that I was reading is to think about the person you wish to be, and then think about that person and what they would do when they wake up in the morning, what they would have for breakfast, what they would be thinking about throughout the day, creating a vision of, so this is who I want to be. How do I become that person based on daily habits? Because we are our habits. Like they say, we are the five people that we hang out with most. We are really our habits too. So if you identify as someone who doesn't like to exercise, then guess what? You're going to be that person who doesn't like to exercise, and you're not going to do it because you're not motivated enough. Because it's not
saying anything, right? Like I could say, well, meditation is hard for me, or eating healthy is hard for me.
Yeah.
Or exercising is hard for me.
So it really is what we talked about last week too. Creating that story in your head manifests into reality for you. So who you think you are is is going to comprise of the habits that you have every day. I desperately trying to get up earlier as a habit, like wake up between 5:30 and 6 o'clock. Mm-hmm. And it is very hard for me right now. But what I really had to remember was I was doing well. I was getting up earlier and earlier, and I got up as early as 6 a.m. and then I got sick. Right?
Yeah, you have to be forgiving, right? Yeah. I mean, there's things that happen to us that are
right. Life happens, shit happens.
Right,
yeah,
outside of your control.
So when these things happen, you have to give yourself some grace and just focus on healing. Right? I am healing. I am in excellent health. I am healing. Just be grateful for your healing. And if you focus on the positive, not like, oh my God, why is this happening to me? I feel like crap. Like bitching and moaning is only going to feed into your feeling worse.
Yeah,
right?
I've done that.
And I mean, that's not to say you don't have a right to do that. If you want to have a pity party, yeah, go ahead, have a pity party. But give yourself 1 minute to have a pity party and then say, you know what? I'm done. I'm going to feel good in the next 5 days and I'm going to start doing what I need to do. And so building these habits, you want to ask your questions like, what do I need if you want to live a healthier lifestyle? What do I need to do to live a healthy life? Like, what do I need to do to have a healthy life? I need to exercise. If I want to lose weight, what do I need to do to lose weight? I need to watch my nutrition, be more focused on my nutrition. And I'm reading from this list I wrote down. If you want to read more and don't consider yourself a reader, pick up a book and read one page, put it down. If you don't want to, if you want to turn your phone off by 8:00 at night and replace that habit of scrolling through social media, which is hard. I do it. I'm guilty. Instead, pick up a book and read it, and if you read one page, put it down and then go through social media. You did one. That's a small win. Mm-hmm. So you want to celebrate those small wins, and that's going to feed into your dopamine, right? That feel good chemical, and it's going to encourage you to do it again.
Right.
So if you are sitting at the computer or watching TV for 30 minutes and you recognize, oh my God, I've been sitting here for a long time, get up, stretch, walk around, sit down. That's a win.
Yeah.
You've moved, whereas otherwise you wouldn't have. Right. So, and I called Jillian, my stepdaughter who's in college, and I asked her if you could change one thing in your life, create a habit that you'd want to do for the rest of your life, what would it be? And she said, changing the way I eat, getting a better, healthier eating, meal planning. Yeah. And I said, and then she started talking about her friends. All of her friends want the same thing. This is a college kid.
Right.
So, and that makes a lot of sense because colleges, the food typically is very carb heavy. Yeah. Right.
And she's in the second half of her college life now, so she's thinking about post-graduation.
Yeah, and she's a runner, and she just did a half marathon. Mm-hmm. So if she wants to eat consistently healthier, and I told her I could help her with that. I mean, I'm not a nutritionist, but I am getting certified. Again, I was certified in my 20s and 30s, but I'm getting recertified as a personal training coach, and I can absolutely help her with those habits because that's what I do. I work on behavior and developing healthy habits. So these are the things that, and even I am guilty of them, like meditation. I had a girlfriend, I can't meditate. I said, well, if you say you can't meditate, then you won't
be able to.
Because you just solidified the fact that you're not meditating.
Right.
And you're not going to if you just keep saying I can't, because you won't.
That's right.
But if you say, all right, I'm going to meditate for 30 seconds, that's a start. That's a win. And meditate for 30 seconds today. Tomorrow, say, I'm going to meditate for 30 seconds. One day at a time, one habit at a time, small baby steps can build into 20 minutes a day, twice a day in a couple of years. Who knows? Right. Or sooner.
Right.
So that's the crux of it. And as I try to transform my life and build healthier habits and do better and be the best version of myself, understanding how habits embody your identity.
Yes.
Was a huge aha moment. I'm like, oh my God, doink. Of course it does. Because how you imagine yourself is going to be the habits that play out. How your behavior is going to follow.
Visions at work, right? We create a vision for the future and we do things that are in alignment with that vision. And the same thing is true for people or relationships.
Yes. If you want to be a better spouse, know
what
how
does that look like, though? But again, going back to the vision,
what does it look like?
What does it look like for you to be a healthier person? What does it look like for you to be a better partner? What does it look like for you to be a better parent? Because everybody's vision around those things is going to be different. It's going to be subjective.
Yes,
but once you define the vision, then it's easier to start filling in. Okay, what do the steps I need to? Get
Who do you wish to be? I wish to be a better spouse. I wish to be a healthier person. I wish to be in better shape. I wish to lose weight. I wish to fill in the blank. What does that look like? Now you go back to say, okay, what is it like? What does a day in the life of this person look like? What does her morning look like?
Different from wishing we're something that we're not capable.
No, you're going to put into action. Right. That's when you think,
this is realistic.
So if I was a healthy person, what would I do when I wake up in the morning? Like, what would be something I would do?
Right.
What do healthy people do when they wake up in the morning?
Right.
Right. And if you have no idea, like Jillian, she's like, I have no idea what to eat. I have no idea what to eat, how much of it to eat, and I'm like, okay, we're going to talk about that. Again, not a dietitian, you'd have to go there, but I can absolutely help her with developing that habits, understanding macros and all the stuff that go into eating healthy for her lifestyle, because she likes to run, she likes to exercise, and she's in college, so she's studying her tuchus off, right? So she has to squeeze all this in, but the great thing is that she understands that those healthy habits feed into her achievement and success at school. Because the healthier she is, the more clear she is cognitively, and the better she will do on her exams.
Yeah, that's the other part. So when you set a vision, why are you setting that, right? What is your objective, right? What are you hoping to gain or benefit from, right? So you have to have some alignment there too, right? Because it can't just be, well, I want to be healthier because my doctor said if I don't get healthier, I'm going to die, right? Or my spouse said if I don't get healthier, they're going to leave me,
right? But still, so even when saying that, so when I was reading, this is the ACE personal training, said that people need to understand when you have someone in that place that's still a motivation. Because if they don't change their lifestyle, they're going to die. And what do they want to do? What do they see? They envision themselves playing with their grandchildren, being healthy and fit and being able to bring the groceries.
Back to vision again.
Right, your vision. So exactly, who do you wish to be? I wish to be a healthier version of myself. Because I have the high cholesterol or whatever the issue is, and what do I need to do? What do I need to do right now? What's one vision, small thing that I can do right now to start changing that path forward and changing that trajectory?
There's a vision and there's a motivation for the vision.
Right. There's who you are, right? How you identify, taking how you want to identify, like identify as an unhealthy person with high cholesterol, as opposed to identify as a fit person who exercises 3 to 5 times a week.
Yeah, I think there has to be some why. So that's my point behind it.
Well, the why, yeah. So the why is a lot of times some health issue. So I start this thinking of my own demographic, which is, 50 to 60 to 70 or whatever it is, like the older folks. But this traverses every area of life, even college kids, right? I mean, high schoolers too can start to learn how, small habits make big changes. And some of the kids I work with in my business, they're high schoolers and, they have some neurodiversity, ADHD or whatever. And they do need to start building habits more than any typical person, I would say, because the stakes are a little higher. Things are more challenging for them than it would be for someone who can focus and doesn't have a problem focusing and paying attention to something they don't necessarily want to look at or read. So this kind of traverses all areas of life. So I didn't originally look at it that way, but absolutely. I mean, we all need to learn how to create and make good habits. And it does start with a vision of who you want to be and what that looks like in small increments of time.
Yeah. And sometimes work challenges, present, let's take leadership, right? And perhaps you've lost a position, right? Because you weren't executing on leadership, right? So you have to realign that vision. So sometimes life presents us with a stop sign that says, hey, it isn't working the way you're going about it, right? So it could be loss of a job, loss of a relationship.
Yes.
Maybe you have children that don't speak to you anymore, right? That might be your parenting style.
That's hard. Yeah.
Or you get a negative bill of health, right, from your doctor that says, hey, this is through the roof. You're prime for a heart attack, right? So there's lots of things, right, that can be motivating to shift.
Absolutely. And when those things happen, you come home and you say to yourself, holy crap, I need to make some changes. Like I need to make some serious changes. That's where I want you to stop and pull back. So while you do need to make some changes, trying to make them all at once doesn't typically bode well for success.
Right.
So you want to look at one thing that you do that you can start doing, that you can tweak and change, right? And then you could stack them. Another habit strategy is stacking habits, which Atomic Habits talks about. Most of this is in Atomic Habits. It's also in a couple other books I read, but I'll mention them in a minute. So yeah, where you stack. So like you get up early, right? You're able, you master that. So you get up early and then you stack on top of that. Okay, I get up early. Oh, I can squeeze a workout in. I have time. So, right. So you stack in, you maybe go stretch and do a little yoga if you're not full on working out yet.
Yeah.
Or you get like a 20-minute workout in. Whatever that looks like for you. However you like to move. It could be yoga, it could be weightlifting, it could be running, it could be, whatever it is, you want to do. It just so long as you're moving. And then you could stack that on top of, okay, I'm early. Now I can prepare a good breakfast, a healthy breakfast. Right. And so you want to, now you have time to make a good meal instead of running out the door with a Pop-Tart in your mouth and a cup of coffee.
Right. So you have to make all these incremental changes.
But that's stacking. So once you make the one change, it's easier to stack another one on it because it's right there. So, and you can back up and, you want to work out in the morning. So you put your workout clothes out. You put them out.
Right.
They're right there.
Kind of forces you to make that.
Yeah.
change.
So now you see it. It's like, oh, okay. So that you want to make it easy. You want to make it accessible, almost invisible, something you're going to just do automatically anyway. You have to get up and get dressed.
And then we talked weeks ago about distractions, right? If you find that you're scrolling, then take Instagram off your phone.
Oh, yeah. Those habits. That's a good one. I like taking Instagram off the phone or putting it somewhere where you have to kind of, it's harder to get to. So make bad habits harder to access or to do, like taking social media apps off your phone. You could have them on your laptop. You could have them on your iPad.
Right, but they're harder to...
But now you have to go get your iPad. Your phone is with you all the time.
Right.
So take them off your phone so you're not like automatically like, oh, let me check out Facebook because you're bored. That's a really good thing to do to get rid of bad habits. And then once the bad habit is harder to access, you want to make the easy habit really easy. Like something you didn't have to think twice about.
And things are trade-offs. Like I've been wrestling with this idea, do I want to get my NBA monthly subscription? So supporting Cleveland Cavaliers.
Yeah.
First home game tonight. But, do I invest, and it's only $17 a month, but yet it's one more thing. But more than the money is the investment of time, right? So if I have the subscription where I can watch every single Cavaliers game, then I'm going to feel compelled to watch every game.
Yes, and stay up late and watch them. And put them on in the bedroom, which I'm going to fight with you about because I don't like the screen.
So I might have sleep deprivation, but but then what am I not doing because I'm watching that game, right? Mm-hmm. I might not be doing something with you. I may not be exercising. I might not be meditating. So things that, because the other thing is competition of vision, right? Mm-hmm. So if I have vision to have a better relationship with you, and to exercise more, right, or go to bed earlier and not have screens at night, now setting a vision around watching every Cavalier game is going to interfere with the other visions.
Yes, yeah,
right?
It will definitely disrupt.
Which vision am I going to prioritize?
Absolutely.
Right, again, who do I want to be?
Right, and then that brings me perfectly, the segues to this quote that I found in the Atomic Habit. Is this Atomic Habit? Master the habit of showing up for yourself. I love this quote.
It sounds like it was Atomic Habits, but I
it
haven't
might
read the
have
book
been.
in a while, so I can't tell you.
Let me just see if it might have been from it, but yeah, I think it was Atomic Habits. Master the habit of showing up for yourself. I love that because if you can show up for yourself, then you will master the habits that you want to master.
Right.
It's showing up for yourself. So what you just described was showing up for yourself. You showed up for yourself. You said, you know what? You thought it through. I love the Cavaliers. I want to watch them. Sports is a big addiction, especially, I'm sure for women too. I shouldn't say especially for men but women are big into sports. Either way, if you want that, you have to understand what you're giving up to get it.
There's an opportunity cost.
It's an opportunity cost, exactly. So when you want to watch the Cavaliers game, you're going to be giving up a lot. So there's a big opportunity cost in all areas. It's not just one. So I don't want the TV on at night. I hate having the TV on because I have a hard time falling asleep and staying asleep.
Right.
So if the TV's on, it's forget it.
Right.
And
I'm already having,
and then I'm upset. And right. So now we're having like a problem. So yeah, and it already interrupts our sleep. So that's it. That sleep is the number one. I mean, if you can't get your sleep right, everything else in life is harder. And sleep, especially when you get to our age, it's not so easy.
Yeah. So you have to prioritize what's important.
Yeah. So other good resources that I read recently, Psycho-Cybernetics. He talks about the power of your subconscious and how what you think about, which is really what we spoke about last week, in your mind, it drives your behavior. Mm-hmm. So using positive past experiences as a win, as a way to reference having positive experiences in the future. So let's say you did something really well and you feel like you can't repeat that. Oh my God, I had this great experience. I was able to stand up and do a presentation, but I'm deathly afraid to do it now. I had this experience. I did that 20 years ago, and I was struggling to publicly speak for years and years. But that one time, and it wasn't like a one-off. I mean, it's something that I know how I did it. I know how I got there. I did it because I subconsciously believed I could, and I had a lot of support, and I set myself up for success. It's not, it takes effort, but it's worth it. Mm-hmm. So that's the power of Cybersight. It's an oldie but a goodie. It is an old book. Maxwell Maltz, I think his name is, the author that wrote it in probably in the 50s and 60s. So it's a little dated, but the ideas and his strategies are great. They're spot on. The other one I read last year was Millionaire Success, and he works on. What my favorite part about this book, the thing I took away from it, was your deeper why. Why do you want financial success?
Yeah.
Why do you want anything in life? Why do you want to be healthier? So he has this whole strategy where he goes to the 7 layers of why. And when you get to the bottom line, your true why really comes through. So you think, I want to, give my kids a good life. I want to be able to pay for their college. I want to give back to the community, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. No. The real why is laying down deep. And when you finally get to that real why, it typically has nothing to do with giving your kids a college education and giving back to the community. I mean, that might be your top layer. But your bottom line, and I know for me, it was about not depending on anybody and having what they call FU money. Yeah. Right? Being able to not have to depend on anybody and ask anybody permission to buy anything ever. Like it's my life, my money. And that's, so it really has more to do with independence and not relying on someone else for financial anything. So that Millionaires, he has a lot of great, read those 2 books. They're just chock full of gems. I really love them. But those are the 2 things that I really pulled away from that. So, yeah.
Parting message for the audience?
Parting message. So I would say go slow, celebrate your small wins. What else did I put out here? I think really understanding who you wish to be and how you identify, right? How you identify now, but who you want to be.
You have to know where you are.
You have to know where you are right now and where your habits are. Like how did you get here? If you are 20, 30 pounds overweight or you are struggling financially, how did you get here? Think about how you got here and the habits that got you here, because it's habits that got you where you are. Making certain decisions, buying some things like having lattes every week. Mm-hmm. That's a habit that people don't realize is $8 a week, right? Or twice a week if you do it, and then add that up over time.
Well, even finances, you have Netflix, you have Prime Video and Hulu and
Yeah. Don't let go of your goal. Life happens. Give yourself some grace. Right. And don't be afraid to start over. You could start. We start over every day. Every day is another opportunity, cliche, but every day is another opportunity to start again. It really is. And so that's
I have that on a sign. We should hang that up here.
Yeah.
I forget. It's in every day is an opportunity for a brand new start.
And it so is because, I was doing well and then I got sick and then 2 weeks later, I didn't read the book. I hadn't read, the books I was reading. I just because I couldn't think. My brain, I was so sick I couldn't even think straight. I was a mess. But now, okay, so let's say you were meditating 5 minutes a day. So now, you can go back to start where you left off, or try 2 minutes if it feels too overwhelming for you, or you can start with 1 again. It's okay. Yeah. Don't beat yourself up. Consider the habits that you would need to adopt to be the person that you wish to be. Think about, what is that person? What would it look like if I exercised every day? What does that look like? If I was a person who did that, what would I be doing when I woke up in the morning? What do I do in the afternoon? What do I do before bed? Taking baby steps, and that's it. Don't be afraid to start over. Those are my go-to. I think there were 5 strategies.
All right, I love it. Well, thanks for digging into this, because I didn't know what we were going to talk about this week, so I'm glad that you took this up, and it sounds like something that's very important to you, too. You sound very passionate about it, too.
Yeah, it really is. I think it's important, and it just kind of goes back to being your best self, and it's a way to transform the life into the life you want. Transform your life into the life you want, for sure.
Okay. Thanks for watching, and you know the drill. If you watched us before, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and feel free to leave comments. What did you like, or what else would you like to hear us talk about in coming episodes of the Personal Transformation Experience podcast? Thank you for watching, and have a great week.
Thank you.